What is up, folks? Welcome back. To another live stream repair. Got a few things to try and fix here today. Well, a few HomePods. A few first generation HomePods. Y'all know it here. Let's get our cameras going. A bit all over the place here still, sorry. Let's get our camera focused. Let's get this all lined up and centered. And I think, here we go. So first up, we've got Craig with a brick. After that, we've got 3509, no power. 3517 is James, no power. And 3526, no power. Let's let Craig know that they're up first here so they can watch. That would be a text message. Alright, and then we've got 3509 up next, so let's let them know. Alright, so we've got the blinkies going on Craig's pod here. This could be caused by a few things. Could be software, could be hardware. We won't know until we try to restore the software. So let's protect the top from scratches while we move it around here. Get it all connected to our fancy USB dock. This is the only one for today, so I'm not going to bother with the doing the dance to get the screen share working here. You can all suffer this way. Let's see what we've got here. We'll plug it into USB with it upside down, then we can plug it into power and run our magic commands: Gaster Pwn, Gaster Reset, and iDevice Restore. Hopefully this isn't a hardware issue. If we get a restore progress bar, essentially that's a good sign, but if it errors out, if there's a hardware issue, usually it errors out pretty quickly here. So we'll see if it can take a restore, then we'll work on another HomePod while it's restoring. It can take, like 5 to 15 minutes here. So what do we got here with us? We've got Steph and we've got Raj. Welcome, folks. Oh, I wouldn't worry about missing last night's color chat in the Discord server last night. We did like one HomePod, and then oh shit, waiting for NAND. So this one's a hardware issue. You can see here, waiting for NAND. It shouldn't be sitting there hanging on that. I'm not going to bother wasting any more time waiting for that to finish failing. This one is going to need a logic board. I do not have the time here today, unfortunately, to attempt the full-on hardware repair for their particular logic board just to have it not work on us still and need to replace this logic board. We are going to grab ourselves a HomePod here that I have of mine with a logic board that already works. And we're going to use this to get Craig's HomePod working again. I'll put Craig's logic board in my pile of boards to attempt hardware repairs on in the future when I've got more time, but we got to get through as much as we can here today, and we could very much spend 40 minutes to over an hour trying to get that logic board working again before we even get it fully taken apart and the rest of its hardware maintenance taken care of. Let's just get ourselves a known good logic board and get this thing fixed and move on. We'll have a good big old stream one day where we just sit here and reball the NANDs on those logic boards. Alright, one good logic board to accompany a little bit of hardware maintenance here. Let's get that logic board replaced. Let's get to the amplifier and prevent as much as we can from happening to this in the future, so it's not coming back to us anytime soon, at least. Shuffle hands, what is up? Welcome back. Oh man, that sucks about your Apple Pencil, Stefan. I heard third-party tips tend to make the pencils break a little easier too. Oh, the glasses are not real. They're not. I don't need glasses. These are purely spit blockers, blue light blockers, and transitions. Keeps the spatter of all the flux from getting into my eyes while we're working on stuff. I usually forget to wear them because I don't need glasses. But they're nice to wear out in public. People tend to spit while they talk. And I think that's disgusting, and it's quite often how people end up getting sick, not by what they're breathing in, but by what people are spitting into their eyeballs while they're talking to them. Forgot my wolf box. Oh yeah, I'm kind of skipping past the whole explaining thing here, but there's the logic board. As you saw, I wrote down what was wrong on their original one. I'll fix it one day when we've got time to burn here. But when I've got HomePods with good logic boards, we'll reuse the parts. Yeah, we'll replace that foam subwoofer gasket with a nice solid rubber one so that the foam doesn't fall apart over time and cause issues. We are inside and at the board that tends to have problems here. Let's get our filters replaced first here. These tend to go bad and cause death farts and all sorts of bass issues. Where is my... There it is. Alright. Do we need a new Schottky diode? Yes, of course we do. We've got a 48K date-coded diode, and these love to fail and cause no power. There is no shortage of low-quality components used throughout the production of these HomePods, and at least we know what tends to fail and what to replace. Gosh, is it getting kind of old, though. But I don't want to I don't want to jinx myself and end up getting cursed with nothing but non-stop complicated issues from here forward. All right. That should make for a happy amp. Let's get this back together with a new subwoofer gasket, a working logic board, and that should be one happy, long-lasting HomePod. Plug it into the bottom of the magic pills. That's hilarious. You can plug the Gen 1 Apple Pencil into a 7th Gen iPod Nano, and the iPod will actually charge the Nano with a pencil. Oh, very neat. Yeah, I would personally prefer a track point mouse above all. It's just the best, and it's built into my keyboard, so it doesn't take up any more desk space. Alright, so this should boot right up to an existing setup. Of course, I'll need to factory reset it and update it before I send it off to them, but there we go. Let's let James know that they are coming up here. Oh, I guess I already factory reset this guy. Very nice. Let's see. So that would be that one. Why? I hate when iMessage just simply doesn't show me a conversation that I had with someone literally this morning, and I have to manually type in their phone number. And then it's like, oh yeah, you mean this conversation that you had with someone like literally 2 hours ago, and you haven't had any messages from anyone since then? Nah, I'm gonna bury that shit. You're gonna have to look for it. I swear, software these days is just getting to the point, man. Alright, we've got number 3509 here. Up next, James, no power. Everyone, the rest of the day here is a first-gen HomePod with no power. And I'm expecting to see exactly the same root cause, and they're all going to be the same repairs here. We've got nothing here, no lights, no power, no nothing. We have a couple of watts getting pulled from the wall, so this is probably the usual dead diode. Let's get this apart. Let's get it fixed. Do a little bit of maintenance while we're in it. And then repeat for the last few pods today. And then get out of here and go eat some dinner. Ooh, we're having pot roast tonight. See if we can't finish these before my camera overheats, because it's toasty. Woo! What kind of camera do I use? It's a Sony ZV E10. If I stick a fan right next to it, it usually keeps it cool, but at the expense of fan noise. Kinda hate it. Foam gasket be gone. We'll be replacing that with a solid rubber one. Here we go, you all know the drill. Let's do a little bit of maintenance first, and then we'll knock out the actual dead diode here. First though, no less important, we've got our filters here that love to go bad and cause death farts. Let's get those replaced before they go bad and cause all sorts of more difficult, expensive repairs here. You thought it was Tuesday still? I thought it was still February, man. I'm getting old. One thing that sucks about getting older is, like, and this is a proven, observed phenomenon, is your perception of time tends to, time just tends to fly by way faster the older you get. And like when I was a kid, I remember hours, days, weeks feeling like eternities. But now that kind of stuff, it's gone. Yeah, I'm 2024. Yeah, I still get stuck on that here and there. Alright, our extra credit is done. Let's replace that dead diode there. There it is, a 46K date code. What's up with my iron? It's oh. All right. Ooh, here we go. They should hire me as the new CEO. I'll come in there and totally wreck stuff. Well, let me at them. You want the world's best technology company? Let me at them. I'll take what they got and I'll make it what everyone's always wanted. Which is pretty close. You know, they got a lot. They got a lot of cool stuff. A lot of good stuff. But they also have some seriously wrong principles and stances, and like, sell us parts, man. Where's the parts for the second-gen HomePods, huh? I thought all new HomePod, I thought all new Apple products were gonna have parts available for self-repair. Where are my parts for my second-gen HomePods, Tim? The second-gen HomePod came out after that. So why don't we have parts for second-gen HomePods? Oh, if I was CEO of Apple, overnight, everything would get its headphone jack back. Parts and devices would have a means of removing an iCloud activation lock. I mean, I don't want to make it easy. I don't want to incentivize people to steal them. But what they do right now is horrible, awful, extremely wasteful. Oh, and I would pretty much completely halt feature development. I would halt feature development entirely. And for the next 6 to 12 months, it would be pure bug smashing. Pure quality updates. I'm not gonna, I wouldn't completely get rid of iCloud lock, activation lock, parts locking. Like, don't get me wrong. There's definitely benefit in use to those, and to a degree, I'm sure they deter a fair bit of theft. But there should still be a way for someone to that can prove that they legitimately obtained a used device to be able to reuse those parts, or Apple can make the request on behalf of them to the original owner, and the original owner can, it's pretty similar to the parts locking. Like, you can submit a request, they reach out to the original owner. If the device isn't reported stolen, then you are A-okay. What is up, Dan? Welcome back. We're just fixing some HomePods here, you know the usual. Oh no. There we go. Well, I don't see, like, if, like, Apple can be totally all about security and incentivize automatic updates and the average user basically having their stuff automatically up to date all the time. What we want, what's perfectly reasonable, is a checkbox or a toggle or an agreement that you can sign. I don't care. Something, anything that you can say, I know what I'm doing, I understand the risks, let me do what I want. Let me downgrade it. Your average user's not going to want to do this. They don't care. It's the weird people like you and me that want to do that kind of stuff. And, you know, that's not, it doesn't affect their bottom line to not support that. So that's never going to change. Unless you make me CEO. All right. Let's
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. For more info, check the Home app.
Number 3526 know that they are next and last here. All right, we're looking good there. Two more. We can do this. We can cruise through these easy peasy. So we've got James, no power. I think we all know what to expect here. No lights, no nothing. A couple of watts from the wall. That looks like the usual dead diode. Here we go. Sorry, it looks like YouTube's auto mod is, doesn't like people cursing, I guess. I personally don't care. I'll fix that in a minute. Yucky foam subwoofer gasket. Icky gross. Your brain, icky, gross, lots of wrinkles. My brain, pretty smooth. Beautiful. Oh yeah, absolutely. We would bring back the home button. We'd bring back 3D touch. Hell, I'll add a headphone jack to the Apple Watch. Do you want that? Because I'll do it. Here we go. Let's do a little bit of maintenance first. Y'all know the drill. Our filters, they like to go bad and cause death farts and bass issues. So we'll get those replaced before they do. Oh, I love it. Some snappy action. And the star of the show, the shorted Schottky diode. Let's get that replaced. 48K dated, of course. It's the 46Ks and the 48Ks that we look out for. If it's got a different date code, it's not the problem. Ooh, shuffle hands. I feel that. Bluetooth, especially on Windows, man. Awful, awful, awful. Bluetooth has just literally always sucked so much. And it's gotten better, but it still just inherently sucks. How's that flux? Oh, Dan, I bought like 40 more tubes of this stuff. I swear by this stuff now. Let me tell you, let me go on about it, let me tell you. It's totally clear, as you can see. It's as clear, it's as clear as water. Seriously. Zero smoke at all. Zero smell. My wife doesn't even smell anything down the hallway. I don't smell anything from it. It cleans up so nice. It's no clean, so you don't have to clean it up if you don't want to. It's got an immeasurable amount of resistance. It's practically has no resistance. So it's not gonna short-term or long-term short things out or create an undesirable path. And it's so cheap. All the stuff is so cheap. I cannot find a single flaw with my Flux. I love it to death. And I strongly suggest you try the same. I love this stuff. The only downside is the shipping time. You know, you have to buy it from. You can find it on AliExpress and a couple phone repair websites, but they all ship from China, so you gotta wait a few weeks. Totally worth it, man. Oh, I have never been so happy with some Flux before. It just totally spanks everything. Viscosity. Here, we've got the box with all of the specs on it there for you, so you can pause the live stream and give that a read. There you go. All right, we gotta get these back together, get these fixed, and get out of here. My wife's working overtime watching that kid today. Nano. Plot twist, it's actually water. That would be so ironic. Sorry. That would be so ionic. Oh, pun intended. I buy this stuff from a website called iPro Gadgets. They're totally legit. It may not look it, but they are totally legit, and they've been in the game for a very long time. You can rest assured buy as much Flux from them as you want, and you'll get it. And you'll get it for a great price too. And I'm not sponsored, I don't get any kickbacks or anything from anyone. I sincerely love that stuff so much. I do not kid. I've got more than I can hold. This stuff is really great. I bought a bunch before tariffs started kicking in, so I wouldn't, I could last as long as possible. It's got a good shelf life, so I'm not worried about buying too much and it going bad. Heck, I'll resell some of it if people wanna pay the premium. I'm happy to resell some of that Flux. You won't have to wait for shipping from China. It'll come straight from me. I'll make you pay for it. But there's always people out there that wanna. No, you cannot have any of my hi-fis. I'm so sorry. You could easily, very easily, secure a hi-fi for $100 or less if you hop on eBay or Goodwill's auction site. Goodwill's auction site always has those things up there, man. Sometimes you can even get one with the box. And the docks and all the extra little adapters. Hey, I mean, cost of convenience. Yep, you are absolutely correct. To a degree, that's pretty much how everything works. I mean, you could anything that you buy, in theory, you can make yourself. You can manufacture yourself. It might not be practical, but every single day we make all sorts of purchases. Instead of making it ourselves just out of convenience, more or less, amongst other reasons, of course, but convenience is certainly in those reasons, whether you consciously realize it or not. Your business thrives on taking someone else's inconvenience and making it more convenient. And that's not I don't think that's an inherently bad thing. Coming from the guy that's running a business. Any problems with second gens? Yours pop from time to time. Should you be worried? No, don't be worried at all about your HomePod. If it's working fine, then especially no need to be worried about it. All of the big sized HomePods, be it first gen or second gen, any moderately high powered Class D audio amplifier is going to make a bit of a pop as you turn it on or off. If you have a home theater setup, try it out yourself. Go and turn your home theater amplifier on and off a few times. I'm sure you're gonna hear this. You're gonna hear the speakers pop just a little bit. Not necessarily a sign of any concern. It's just kind of an inherent feature of audio amplifiers. There's a momentary delay before the filters can kick in and remove unwanted noise from the audio signal, so amongst other nuances of, literally electrons. Like this is all black magic, guys. Come on, can anybody really explain at at the most fundamental level possible how all of this is working? And if you could, we'd have to take weeks to talk about it and learn about it. It's quite crazy what they've accomplished, and just how much just works on a day-to-day basis without problems. But all that said, I wouldn't worry about your HomePods if they're popping, and that's all they do. What are the chances of one turning up at a local Goodwill? Funny you say that. It was my local Goodwill that I found one, that I saw my first hi-fi, that actually exposed me to them. I didn't know they existed until I saw one at my local Goodwill. And when I did see it, man, ooh, I needed it. And they only wanted $100 for it. It wasn't in bad shape either. And I told myself, if I come back here in a week or two and it's still here, I'll buy it. It was still there. I went back and I bought it. And then I found Goodwill's auction website, and that was game over.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. For more info, check the Home app.
All right.
I'm having trouble connecting to...
Very good, very good. We've got one more here. That would be number 3526 here with no power. Let's get their name up. And let's check out their symptoms here. No, ooh. Hello? It's turning on. Do we have the right HomePod here? Oh, it turns on, it boots, but it sounds bad. Okay, I had written down the wrong. Here we go. Ooh, ooh, that's a Poppy Pod. Yes, sir. So those filters have gone bad. Funny, I was just talking about not worrying about your HomePod if all it does is pop a little bit here and there. And without experience, it can be really difficult to judge if the popping that your HomePod does make is normal or not. I have sound samples to compare against on my website. Just search on my website for "What's That Sound?" You'll find it. It's at the bottom of the known issues section. But more or less, it's not always a guaranteed indicator of how good or bad your filters are. It can be an indicator. Older model Bose Wave at Youth Ranch for $4. Oh. Yeah, man. I mean, for $4, that'd be really tempting. I don't have one of those yet. I've fixed one before. Like 3 years ago. Like we were only a few months into offering HomePod repair services, and someone had found my phone number and reached out to me directly. And they said, "Hey, I'm local. Can you try to fix my mom's Bose Soundwave or whatever it is CD player? She's blind and she uses it to play her audiobooks, but she got a CD stuck in there. It won't come out. I smell a stinky subwoofer. This thing's gonna need a new subwoofer." Anyways, I let them know. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Drop it off. I'll take it apart. I'll see if we can't unjam that thing and if it's all working again. I gave him a quote. I gave him like, I think I told him like $20 to $60 depending on how much time and what all it would need to get fixed. And I took it apart. Literally all that needed done was for me to pull the CD out. Nothing needed replaced. Nothing was really broken. It all worked just fine. So I hit him up and I said, "You're good to go. Come pick it up. I got your CDs out. Everything's working fine now. And it's a free repair because it only took me a few minutes to just take it apart and unjam it for you." Of course, they still ended up paying me like $40 or $50 for my time, and it was at the time I wasn't getting 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 HomePods a day to fix, I was getting maybe a couple a week. So that was really cool. I wasn't hurt on the time. I was looking more for just things to fix and building a reputation and experience, and they were still happy to pay me for it. Yeah, that woofer's roasted. Unfortunately, I can't wait for smell-o-vision. I cannot wait for you guys to be able to smell what I smell when we work on these. Well, here we go. We've got a not so stinky woofer here that we can reuse for them. Let me make sure it's not bent up. Nope, that looks beautiful. Alright, this foam subwoofer gasket is garbage. We'll replace that with a solid rubber one. Let's get this apart the rest of the way. We don't want to just stop at replacing the subwoofer. We need to replace those filters that went bad and roasted that woofer. And of course, while we've got the amp out, we will see if it needs anything else, particularly that Schottky diode that you saw us replacing in everyone else's HomePods today. We don't want this coming back to us for no power after charging them all this money and time to fix base issues, do we? I mean, if we were mean, if we were absolutely malicious, we could, knowing better, we could just do the bare minimum and replace just what needs to be replaced to get the thing working again. But we've been through enough of these. We know what tends to go bad. We know what often fails by now. This, no second gen. This is just a first gen. We don't get second gens around here very much. They're not nearly as popular, and the issues that they do tend to have are rather unrepairable. The most common one being the phantom touch, the ghost touch issues. Randomly triggering the voice assistant, pausing and playing music, changing the volume, being unresponsive to touch input. The only fixes for that are to disconnect the touch panel and live without touch input, or buy another broken second gen as parts to replace the touch panel and hope that it's a good touch panel replacement. Describe the smell. It smells... It's not quite a burnt electronics smell. Not quite. Burned speakers, burnt voice coil has a very... It's a particular smell. Because it's the voice coil is copper wire wrapped around a tube and then coated in an enamel so that it's not, conducting, it's not shorting out through itself. You can't just take a bunch of copper wire and coil it up and call it good. It'd be touching itself and conducting and not work. It wouldn't work. You need enamel coated wire so that it's not conducting like this stuff. You see that red coating on it? That basically means I could connect something on this end of the wire and something on the other end of this wire right here, and it would only see, none of the rest of this would be conducting with each other or shorting itself out or anything. Because of that coating, I'd have to melt that coating off for it to conduct anything. But if you've ever worked with enamel coated wire, then you'll know it smells a lot like you're burning the enamel coating off of it. Wet electrical. Maybe not so much that. Oh, buddy, old boy, that's it. And we have a 5.2K dated diode here. That is 2 new. That does not fail and cause any issues. I don't see anything else on this board that needs to be replaced. I don't smell nothing. So this is ready to go back together. Along with a replacement subwoofer, a new subwoofer gasket. That should make this one very happy, long-lasting HomePod. Not sure if you'll be able to hear much of a difference here through my microphone streamed over YouTube. Let's guess the voice. Ooh, that's a fun game. I'm gonna guess it's the U.S. male one, the first male voice on this one. Shuffle Hands is guessing Australian mate. Oh, actually, I know that my guess is wrong now, but I have information. I know this I have info about the customer that no one else has. So, I've got more insight than you do. But I won't change my answer. I'll stick to it. U.S. American male voice, the first option. You'll guess British female? I'll be surprised if it's British female. You get 2 guesses. You can pick 2 different voices to guess from. And you can make a guess now, and then when I put the subwoofer in, actually when I get the speaker basket on, I'll give you guys a big hint, and you can submit a second guess. Oh, hold on. Wait a second. Didn't we tested it when it turned on? Oh, but we didn't wait long enough for Siri to talk. So no, we don't actually. We haven't heard yet what it sounds like. Yeah, this is a valid game. Which one do I prefer the sound of? I've been asked this a lot. I personally prefer the sound of the first gen more, but that just might be my bias. The second gen just sounds a little brighter and less powerful. Like, I don't know, more of a V shape almost. The first gen tends to has a it's a little fuller. It's got a little more to it. Alright, speaker basket's on. Here's your hint. Here is your hint. I will be surprised if it is a voice in English. How about that? How about that? And that's purely just from how I've seen various people configure their HomePods over the years. Like, the less American that someone's name sounds, the more likely it seems that they're not going to have. Of course, I mean, that makes sense. The less likely they're going to have a HomePod configured in English. Spanish female, Australian female. Is South Africa? Oh, jeez. Oh, you guys are so far off. If it's not English, then you guys are going to be so far off. I don't think anybody's gotten any close. Yeah, that's a lot better.
I'm having trouble connecting to the
Oh,
internet.
there's your voice. We've got the standard. The
I'm having
standard.
trouble.
All right, folks, that is it for here and now. I hope you all enjoyed this live stream repair. It was a bit of a late day, so I don't think that we're going to be able to get to coloring anything today. It's looking more like tomorrow, and if we don't have too much show up tomorrow, then that'll be just part of our whole main stream here, is we'll just color a pot or two here for you folks. Otherwise, I'll do it in my Discord server. We'll do it in, I like to do the VC, the voice chat there every once in a while, and color HomePods in there with you folks. So, in any case, I hope you all enjoyed this live stream repair, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Goodbye.